It's Big
In the World Wide Web, they call it internet, with different types of social media. Store the information sort of like encyclopedia.
So yeah, I'm really interested to join your group.
Yeah, I think you'll love it. Like, considering where you were last year and just how far you've come and how much you've grown over the last year, I think it'll give you an opportunity to dive even a little bit further.
Yes, please. I need all the resources you got, so that will obviously help me. Thank you so much for that.
Of course. So we got Angie St. Pierre. How's it going? I haven't talked to you in forever. How are you doing, Angie? I'm gonna.
Sorry, I
there
said
you
it's going good. I just saw the email. Sorry, I was a little late, but
It's okay. Hassan saved the day. As soon as I was about to kill it because nobody showed up, he popped in. Hassan's he used to work on my team. He interned under me for a long time.
oh wow.
Yeah, hi Angie.
Hi.
Hi, good to see you.
You too.
Galaxy S8. I don't know who you are, but welcome to the show. They're probably shy. They're still muted.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess I'll give it a couple more minutes because now I got people messaging me for the link and stuff. Maybe I should do 6:30 instead of 6 o'clock.
It's 9 here, so.
Yeah, I mean, I figured 6 o'clock was already pushing it.
It's
So
perfect.
I was wondering if 6 was too early, too late, you know, like, because I just started doing this training recently.
Well,
I'm still testing it out. This is my second time going through it. All right, so let me finish getting set up here. Oh, I guess Galaxy S8 is out the door.
Angie, are you Eastern time or PA?
yeah, I'm in Florida.
Oh, I'm in Canada. It's 9 here as well.
Okay. Yeah.
That's cool. So I guess you should push it for 9. I think that's a proper. So it's gonna be 12 our time. Well, it's not gonna be our own advantage, but maybe that's a problem. People don't make it at 6. We're making it at 9. So I'm trying to compare.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. If I get a low show rate again next week, then I'm gonna try testing altering the time and see if I get a higher show rate then.
Yeah.
Maybe check the email sequences, see how it's going. I already found a weak link in my email sequence this week, so just modified it, testing it. You know, that's the whole point of like what I'm doing here is to prove another concept, because I've rinsed and repeated hundreds of webinar funnels, and so like this webinar here, this training here is just me testing another strategy that I put together, making sure it works, and if it works, then I get to bundle it up and teach it to my students and say, check it out, this is my newest webinar funnel, tested thoroughly.
That training you did, I listened to that this morning on my whole morning run, or not run, I don't run, bicycle run. It was awesome. It was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I transitioned into coaching, because you know I take a look back and see all the things that I enjoy the most, and teaching and coaching is what I enjoy the most. So that's why I've kind of transitioned into doing this.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I hear a lot is, man, I really loved your tutorials. You got to do more of those.
Yeah. Well, because I think like what's different about your stuff, I mean, I know for me is like, you just get to the point. Like, this is what I do and this is how I do it.
Yeah.
It's no like big, crazy, you know what I mean? Like, you're not following anybody else's like crap. You know? Like,
But I
here
did buy a lot of crap to get to this, you know.
Of course you did. Yeah. Yeah. Here I am, smoking and building funnels. Don't like it? Then.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, who's smoking?
Angie's been watching me for a while, so she's used to me just lighting up a blunt and building funnels and like not giving a fuck about what anybody has to say about it.
Probably 3 years.
Yeah, she was
Nice.
one of my early watchers.
I mean, my rates have increased, and what I do is increased just from stuff that I've learned in him reaching out and helping and attending trainings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, Big Marv, he's reliable. He knows his shit.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and dive into it, go through the process. At the end of it, I'm gonna open the floor, let you guys ask any questions, fill it in. Anything that I missed, I'll be more than happy to go over it. I just want to go through this training, and like I was telling you guys earlier, this is just a new webinar process that I'm trying. It's a strategy that I'm trying. So please, any open feedback that you have at the end, don't hold back. It's me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. So, so without any further ado, welcome to the What's Next training. So this entire training is based on a theory. It's a theory that I call parallel programming, and if you utilize parallel programming in everything that you do, it'll force feed your pipelines to feed each other and take more action. So you build processes in your business based on this theory, and then you'll start seeing everything in your business compound and help each other out. All right, so over the last 3 years, I've been testing the Wavemaker process thoroughly with many different personal brands. And the final framework of this process has worked without fail for me to build multiple brands from nothing, just an idea in someone's head, to a 6 or 7 figure company. So I imagine you're all going to be at different positions with your personal brand. You'll not all be at step 1, but remember, if you get stuck at any steps, that's what I'm here for, right? That's why I'm here. That's why I show up every day. You guys can just jump into the Wavemakers group with Big Marv and post any of your questions that you have anytime you get stuck, and I'll respond to your posts or make a video helping you get through whatever you're stuck on. So before I dive into the training, I just want to put a little filter in here. This training is not for those of you that may just now be getting started. If you haven't made any sales yet, if you haven't proven concept, you just kind of have this idea, you haven't really gotten a foundation together yet. And this process is really for those that have a foundation together, but they're just stuck scaling, right? You're not getting consistent results. Maybe you're not getting consistent sales yet, but you're just kind of stuck trying to move on through your business. Now you need a foundation, a solid foundation in place to utilize this process thoroughly. So if you are just getting started, I invite you to go into the Wavemakers group with Big Marv, download my 100-day blueprint, and get started building your brand. You need that strong foundation to build the house on, right? Once you have the foundation in place, you're going to really be able to feed this process, make it compound, and build your brand. Having that strong foundation in place is what's enabled me to continue running my brand on autopilot while only utilizing 2 to 3 hours a day to make that business run and run profitably. And so if you're not getting automated leads, you're not getting steady sales, you're not getting people on the phone, or you're spending hours every day posting content and doing different things, maybe you're reaching out in groups, but you're just getting little to no results, that's what this training is for. All right, so what I'm going to go through is by showing you how, if you have a strong foundation in place, you can do things like my most recent client, Concrete Coatings. We built an automated system for them. They needed lead acquisition. Right, so once we automated leads for them, we enable them to clear $160,000 in 45 days, and they put 10K in, made 160K back, and that's because we had an automated system running for them to push people through their pipelines and nurture them. It's the same process. It's that I use here personally in my Big Mark brand. So most people think the problem is they're like, oh, it's my funnel, or it's my webinar, or the copy's bad. I mean, your copy may be bad, but most of the time it's not your copy, it's not your ads, it's not your videos. What it is that you don't have automated pipelines that feed each other in parallel. You don't have actions pre-built in your system where every time you post or every time you send someone somewhere, when they do something, it's triggering something else to happen in the back end, right? So imagine when you send somebody to your website, they opt in, and you have this nurturing sequence that automatically makes them turn into a buyer 30 days from now, right? And then every day you get 2 to 3 people in there. What does 2 months from now look like, right? So now you've surpassed that 30 days of a new person coming in every day. So yeah, you had to wait that long stretch of 30 days to get the first purchase, but now your leads have compounded, and every day is that 30 days for somebody else, right? So that's the idea of building your pipelines to constantly feed each other, so no action goes unwasted. And that's how you make it more efficient, to where you're spending only 2 to 3 hours a day, because you only have to do that. Because once you have the automated system in place, they're just going to feed each other. So how do you get them automated in a way to feed each other in parallel? For me, it's the wavemaker process, right? And it follows a simple 2-worded theory: what's next, right? So if you're constantly thinking about what's next, you'll naturally be able to build your pipelines to force feed each other, right? So you sent somebody to your landing page. What's next? Oh, they opt in and download my ebook. What's next? Oh, they go into an email sequence. What's next? Oh, I pitched them to book a call with me in that sequence. Okay, what's next? Oh, they jump on a call with me. Okay, what's next? Like, you're always asking what's next, and you try to replace your human self in all those little variations, right? So everything that you can automate, we build a system to do that for you, right? Like all those little actions, those sub actions that walk them up your pipeline without you having to personally reach out to them and say, hey, thank you for downloading my ebook. Try this. So we build systems in the back end that automatically do this for you. And the whole key to marketing is the right message to the right person at the right time. So if you're constantly asking yourself what's next, so you can look at it from your consumer's point of view, then you can craft that message that you send to them to be exactly what they need to hear, exactly what they're looking forward to hearing. It tells them the exact steps that they want to take, right? So for example, my 100-day blueprint is a 103-day email sequence. And when you're getting those emails, they're synced up of when you downloaded the book. And I'm giving you the actionable steps to take every day through that sequence. And if it's an action that I know it's going to take you 4 or 5 days, I wait 4 to 5 days, and then I email you and I check in and say, hey, this is where you should be at. And if you're here, these are the next steps you need to take. Right? So if you're always thinking, what's next? What's the next thing they're going to consume? What's the next thing they're going to do? They're going to naturally consume your content and want to come back for more. Now, all you have to do is get them to consume your content 21 days in a row. Right? So whatever you're doing to bring them into your circle right now, that's the first thing you have to do to automate your lead acquisition, is set up automated content for them to consume you for 21 days in a row. Why 21 days? Because the human mind takes 21 days of doing something consistently to form a new habit, right? If you set an alarm clock and you wake up at 5 a.m. and you get out of bed at 5 a.m. every single day for 3 weeks, eventually you don't even need an alarm clock anymore. Your body is just going to wake up at 5 a.m. because, like, boom, I'm up at 5 a.m. This is what I do now, right? Like, I literally just put myself through that over the last 6 weeks. Now I get up at between 3 and 4 a.m. every single day. And at 10 p.m., my body's like, hey, it's time to go night-night. Right? It's time to turn the laptop off. Because now I've conditioned my body to say, hey, it's 10 o'clock, you need to go to bed. And then I wake up at 3 a.m., right? And sometimes I kick myself because I just want to lay in bed. But the way my mind works is as soon as my eyes open, I'm done. Like, I'm not going back to sleep. Yeah, so now some days it's like Saturday, and I'm like, fuck, it's 4 a.m. It's Saturday. Go back to sleep. I'm trying to sleep right now. And it's like, no, it's time to get up, bro. It's time to put some work in. But that's just how our human bodies work. That's how our minds react. So whatever your lead magnet is, one of the things that are really killing it right now is challenges, like a 21-day challenge, or build a group in 30 days, or do X in 30 days, improve your life doing X in 30 days, 21 days, a 14-day challenge, or 14 steps to do this, or the top 10 things to do this, because it helps you just naturally write that longer email sequence, right? So like the average person, it's hard, like I've been studying copywriting for just over 2 years now, and I still struggle writing content sometimes. Now I'm kind of took the, I don't want to say lazy way out, but I kind of took the lazy way out. I have a content writer now that writes all my blog posts and stuff. But because for me, that was the hardest thing, was like, I need to come up with content to write. So if you're anything like me and you struggle, like, fuck, how am I going to get them to consume content for 21 days? That's what makes it easy. It's like, let me come up with a 21-day challenge. That easy. I can write them an email. Okay, today in the challenge, you're supposed to be doing this. Today in the challenge, you're supposed to be. So it's a very natural email, and they expect it. They think nothing of it. It's not salesy, because they're like, my 100-day blueprint. People are like, how the fuck did you write a 103-day email sequence, maintain 60 to 70% open rate, 30 to 40% click-through rate? Because that's insane. Well, it's because they signed up for a 100-day fucking blueprint. They already knew going into it, like, this is a 100-day thing. He's going to reach out to me for 100 days, right? And then the information is so valuable and gives them actionable steps. When they take those steps, it makes a difference in their brand and their life and the things that they're doing. They're like, I want to read more of his emails. I want to do more of those things that he's telling me to do, because it's so valuable, right? So you can't just email them and just say, hey, what's up? It's day 3. Good luck, like, read the book and then give them no value. You have to actually, give them some valuable steps, because the whole idea of that first 21 days, what they say, you can never get a first impression back, right? So the lead magnet is their first impression of you. So however you treat them when they first enter your sphere is how they're going to, relate to you and your value for the long term of them being with you, right? So if the lead magnet that you give them radically changes their life and whatever they're doing, right? I get in an argument with people about this, because they're like, oh, that's my top secrets. I don't want to give that out, blah, blah, blah. Let me break the news down to you. We live in the info age. I can find anything I want to find on Google. There's no you don't have a secret I can't crack. Trust me. But everybody gets stuck up on, like, this is my IP. These are my secrets. I don't want to share them, blah, blah. Share your top 3 secrets. Let it change somebody's life, right? If somebody's in a position where they have no money, they're just trying to get started, they're just trying to build a brand, they download your book, and they're able to make 6 figures in 5 months because you gave them your strategy, who do you think they're coming back to when they're ready to scale from 6 to 7 figures? They're not going to go look for somebody else. They're going to go to the guy that showed them how to make 6 figures. So if you're being prohibitive with all your information and you're hoarding it and you're like, nobody can get this without paying me something, and the money is what drives you, that's the quickest way to lose your tribe. So just make sure your first impression, your lead magnet, when you write that series, it's actual valuable information that gives them actionable things that they can do that's going to change their life, their brand in some sort of way that's going to make them want to come back to you, and they're going to naturally want whatever your next thing is that you do charge money for, right? So we have someone right now, we're running a funnel where the front end lead magnet is the 12 skills you need to succeed as a real estate agent and be a top producer, right? That's the lead magnet. We've dialed that thing in to where we're getting 96 cents leads on autopilot. And then the next step of the funnel is like, hey, you got the 12 skills. Here's this script that we have. How about this script book? This is going to help you close more sales on the phone. It's going to help you be confident, close more deals, find more people, network. You know, we build up this skill book. It's like $7. Get the skill book, the script book, right? And then the next step is like, hey, you've gotten the workbook that shows you the 12 skills you need. You've gotten this script book that's going to show you how to apply those 12 skills. Now get this full video course where I personally walk you through these 12 skills and how to apply them. And I'm going to throw in these audio affirmations and these audio lessons that are going to help you take those skills to the next level, right? Now imagine they consume that workbook, right? And then we're retargeting them and getting 30 to 40% take because people have consumed this workbook and it's helped them improve their skills. It's helped them become better agents. And now when they become better agents, they're going to naturally want to say, well, these skills that they're teaching me help me become a better agent. So I want whatever the next thing is they're offering. If these skills help me become a better agent, that script's probably going to help me close more, just like they're saying, right? Like the script's probably going to help me network better, just like they're saying it is. Or maybe they consume the workbook and they notice it made such a difference that when the video course of the coach that wrote the workbook says, hey, I'm going to jump on video and walk you through it, right? They've already built the perceived value of like, well, this workbook alone changed my life. Imagine how much it's going to change my life when the guy that wrote it is teaching me how to implement it. So that's really step one of automating lead acquisition. Now, the actual process to do that, right? What I personally use is a free Facebook group, right? There's over 1 billion people on Facebook every single day. All you need is 1,000 people to know, like, and trust you to build any level of personal brand that you want. And I use a free Facebook group as my lead acquisition hub. I do all my free trainings in there, my free coaching, any kind of programs that I have, lead magnets. My podcast is streamed through there, and it's the Wave Makers group, right? And people that come into there, that's how they can consume my content, get to know me, get to know my strategies, how I teach people. They can consume that content, apply that content, then they're naturally going to come back to me. And they're going to message me and say, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? I want to learn this. I want to do this. How can you help me push my personal brand to the next level? Because I joined your Wave Makers group and I went through your blueprint and this is killing it for me. So what's the next thing you have to offer to help me go to the next level? Right? So a Facebook group is like the number one thing right now on social media that is enabling you to build like a hub of people, your own personal tribe, your own personal network of people that know, like, and trust you. And there's going to be some changes in the algorithm later this year that even allow you to target groups once you start running paid advertisement, right? So now a couple technical things with your group: make sure your page owns it, not you and your personal profile, because right now you can't build custom audiences because you might not be running paid traffic right now, but remember, you're always thinking what's next, right? So you might be running organic right now, but you always want to prepare for running paid later. That's why you want to make sure all your funnels are pixeled. Make sure you install pixels on your forms. Make sure the events are actually firing, like the lead event, the purchase event, add to cart, initiate checkout, all the complete registration. You know, all these events that come with the Facebook pixel, make sure those are installed and firing properly on your funnels, because what it does is it preps you. You're building an audience, so once you start running paid advertisement, you already have this warm database built for you ready to advertise. Because if you wait, right, and you don't pixel anything, and once you start running paid advertisement, now you got to build the database. And at $20 a day, it takes 4 to 6 weeks to build that database. You're going to spend $1,000 to $1,500 to build a database with a cold pixel, right? So if you want to cut back on the budget that it takes to build it and the amount of time it takes to build it, pixel your pages and everything now, so you're already building a database for the future. So with that being said, make sure you create your group by your business page. Make sure your page owns it. Make sure all the posts that you do in the group are by your page. That way, whenever you go to create the audiences, you might not be able to target your group directly right now, but you can target people that have engaged with your page's posts. Now, if you are posting and engaging in your group under your personal profile, you can't retarget that engagement. So that's tech tip number 1. Tech tip number 2 for your group: make sure that you're using ask questions when people are coming into your group. Pick 3 questions that's going to isolate them and let you know if they're part of your target demo. Right. So, for example, for mine, I'm asking how old is your personal brand, how much are you currently making, and what is your email address. Right. So I can mark, and when I say I want your email address, I'm not just saying what is your email address. I'm saying what is the best email so I can send you my top tips, strategies, and templates, etc. That way they expect me to email them, right? So you always want to set expectations and then deliver on set expectations. The second question, asking them how much revenue they make. Well, for someone to join my Motivated Maniac program, they have to be in a position to where their business is already earning revenue, and maybe they're just stuck at scaling and they're not getting consistent sales. So if you're just starting out and you're not making revenue, I already know that you're not going to be in a position to do the Motivated Maniacs program, because you're probably not going to have the capital to join the program. And then third, I asked about the personal brand, because I just want to know about your personal brand, what you do. That way, when I do reach out to you, I already have templates and things ready to go, so I can say, well, here's a personal brand similar to yours that I helped in the past, and this is what we did to help them succeed. Perhaps you can introduce these into your system, and it'll work just as well for you. All right. So when you're using those questions, make sure you pick questions to one, you're collecting their data so you can retarget them, and 2, you're collecting data to help you identify, is this person going to be a good part of your tribe? Now, if you want to store that data, there's 2 ways to do it. There's the time-consuming way, which is manually copying it to like an Excel sheet, or you can get a program called Group Convert. Group Convert installs into Chrome. It's a Chrome extension, and it allows you to export those questions and the answers to those questions to a Google Sheet. Then you can use a program like Zapier to take the information straight out of the Google Sheet and put it into like your autoresponder, for example. So then you can build nurture sequences for people that join your group. So that is really step 1 of automating lead acquisition. Because if you already have your lead magnets, but if you were listening earlier, I told you this training is only for you if you already have a lead magnet in place. If you already have a lead magnet, you know, that's where you're driving traffic inside that group. That's where you're teaching on inside that group. That's your entry level training, so to speak, to get people to know, like, and trust you, who you are, what you offer the planet. Right. The next thing you got to get dialed in after you've automated lead acquisition, after you have a hub where you're constantly getting new people in, then the next thing you really have to work on is dialing in your core offer, right? You need a core value stack where this is all you focus on. You don't want to offer 20 different packages, 20 things. You might have 20 different skill sets, but you really want to focus and be a specialist in one thing. You pick one thing that you really excel at, you're passionate about, you love it, you're head over heels in it, and you build a core offer around that one thing. Like my one thing is automation and strategy, right? Like I know how to run Facebook ads, I know how to build funnels, I know how to do all of these things, but I don't do all those things. because I want to focus on automation and strategy. I want to be one of the best brand strategists in the world. Right. So that's why I collapse my agency and choose to only do automation and strategy and coaching around automation and strategy. Now I have networked with experts, right? So like if somebody needs a videographer, for example, we reach out to my guy Chris Stone here, and I'll link up people because I say I don't do that. Right? If people need ads, I link them up with my buddy Nelly, who runs his own marketing agency now after he left the Wavemakers program. And then, I have funnel builder Sam King, who builds and designs all the funnels for my clients. So I just have networked with other experts who have picked these exceptional spots to say, no, this is my craft. This is all I'm going to focus on. This is all I'm going to do. They're specialists in that. And then I stay in my lane. So once you do that, then you can dial in your core offer. You become a premium or a specialist, a person that everybody knows, like, this is your jam, and like nobody's better at this one thing than you are. And as you're building your courses and your things through that offer side, I'll just use mine for example, right? On the front end, I have my personal brand blueprint, right? Because to do all of my process, you have to have that foundation in place. So that's why I have that. There is my lead magnet, because you want everything in your stack to align with each other. You want it to be, when you say what's next, you want the next thing that they're going to get to naturally align with the first thing that they consumed, right? So if somebody consumes my blueprint, the next thing they're going to need is a map of how to build out the content and actually follow the blueprint and implement what I'm teaching them there. So the next thing that they get is my content map, right? And that's another free lead magnet. Now, once they're doing that, they need to build funnels and automation to actually run parallel programming and run this automated system that I'm teaching them to build through the 100-day sequence. So I have my platform, the What's Next platform, that I pitch to people saying, hey, if you need to build your lead magnets, here, you can use my platform, because that's where I got the What's Next platform for all of my students that needed an all-in-one solution that had, email, surveys, funnels, websites, appointment setting, membership sites, everything all under one roof. That's why I put together the platform. Right now, once they've gotten into the platform, they've built out the system, they're starting to produce leads. The next thing that they're going to elevate to is my group coaching, right? So then I pull them into my group coaching group, and I teach them with groups of people, right? Now, once they go through group coaching, they've built up their brand, they're starting to make sales. Now they're in a position to say, okay, I'm ready for the next level. Now I need the one-on-one attention. Now I need Big Marv. I need you to personally coach me every single week to help me build out my brand, map out my strategy, and help me with the automations to make this convert and scale. Well, that insert Motivated Maniacs. That's my high ticket program, right? But you can see how starting from the blueprint all the way into my high ticket Motivated Maniacs, it's the natural next step that you would take. It's not like, here's my personal brand blueprint, now join Motivated Maniacs, right? No, it's like, I got to walk you through building that foundation and taking you through all those steps. I have to make you succeed enough to put you in a position to be able to join Motivated Maniacs, right? And so that's the idea behind your core value, your core offer and value stack is like, after you're creating a lead magnet for your tribe, you need that stack, because it's the core thing that you can offer your tribe that's going to radically change their lives. This can be a course, it can be a coaching program, it can be a product, it can be any number of things. The important part is that it's at the top of your value stack, and you create offers that move them up there that all align with your lead magnet and your core offer on the end. Does that make sense? And if you guys need help with that, you'll see these books I have behind me, right? These are written by Russell Brunson. It's .com Secrets, Expert Secrets, and Traffic Secrets. That's what I built my Big Marv brand on. right? So .com secrets, it teaches you how to build that attractive character, isolate your tribe, who you're going to talk to, why you're going to talk to them, how you're going to help them, when you're going to help them. That's what that really helps you dive into. Expert secrets teaches you, like, how do you craft your message to deliver to that tribe to get them to know, like, and trust you. And then traffic secrets teaches you these are the different sources of where all the people are hanging out and how to get them to come and consume your content. So if you're getting stuck on, like, how do I build my core offer and value stack, then I really recommend diving into those books because they will help you isolate it. But you can't be lazy. There's exercises in the book where you got to break out your pen and paper and do some fucking work. You don't put in the work, it's not gonna work out for you. You can't just read the book and say, oh, that was a good read. You gotta break out some paper and do a little bit of work. But that's how you really dial in your core offer. And as long as you're always thinking, what's next, versus like, oh, I'm just gonna throw all this shit on the wall and see what sticks. Like, just sit down and actually put some thought into, okay, here's my high ticket item, here's my free item. How do I bridge this gap? You start at the free item and you just ask what's next until they get to the big one. Chris, go ahead.
Yo, what's up? Okay, so you mean to tell me that, like, the best way to really kind of build this structure is to get into the mindset of the client and sort of, what's a logical next step that makes sense to them, right? Like okay, for me, right? So I'm not really like a videographer, but I definitely help people use video to grow their business, right? So the first thing, like, I have a book that it's an ebook, it's a workbook. You can literally print it out and fill in the blanks on all the parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking in my head, like, if I'm a business owner who's never really used video, or maybe I'm just getting started, like, I know I'm supposed to, but I just don't know really what to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of the mindset I was in when I was trying to write this book. And so it kind of just goes through step by step, like, okay, here's the things to think about, if you've already got your business established. And then here's how to use, because I ask questions, here's how to use your answers to, what to talk about in your videos, right? So, but once they work through it at the end of the workbook and they actually do the exercise, they should have a really good idea, at least, on how to start making effective video the right way, right? So in my head, both from my perspective and a customer perspective, now that I know what to talk about and what subject matter, and why I would make a video like that, and then also how to use it, the next thing probably is like, okay, well, if I want to do this myself, like, how do I do that? Right. So I might give like a little couple of tips, not really focusing too much overall on like the technical, like what apps to use and all that kind of stuff. But it would be a logical next step. Am I right?
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you said that because I just got my brain went crazy as soon as you started talking about what you had. Are you familiar with Russell Brunson's potato gun story?
I've heard about it, and actually, no. I think I saw a video somewhere about this, like a brief story about it. But yeah, I'm familiar with it.
So how his potato gun story goes is he came up with the perfect potato gun, and he wrote documentation on, like, here's how to do this awesome potato gun. Here's the materials that you need. That went crazy. People fucking loved it, downloading it every single day. And then he came up with the potato gun kit. Here's all the supplies that you need with the instructions for an upsell of $29.95 or whatever the fuck his upsell was for. Right? And then it was like, and then here's these attachments that go with the gun, and this and this and this. And he built out this whole value stack that all started with, here's the instructions on how to build a potato gun, right? So for you, your video thing, right, like at the end of reading your lead magnet, now they should have a pretty good idea of like, all right, I'm ready to go create my first social media video, right? What's the next thing I'm going to need? Is my phone good enough? Can I shoot videos with my phone? Is my phone one of the things that are going to be perfect?
Right.
Do I need one of these things? Like, I see these things in ads a lot. Do I need one of these? What's a good mic that works on an iPhone? You know, so what I would do, even though you say you don't want to get into the tech, I would write a process for you that people can clone your process, right? There's a million different apps out there, right? But when I do my tutorials, now I say this is the What's Next platform. I'm not going to create a video on lead pages and ClickFunnels and all these other motherfuckers out here. I have my process. This is my process that you can follow, right? So for you, you can say my process is I have an iPhone 8. I use Adobe Creative Cloud with Premiere, right? Like whatever the fuck apps you use. I use the Movo mic, right? And then you build out the tech steps and the training. Then that enables you to build your own tutorials and video courses and things using your process that you developed for your tribe. And then maybe you get into creating these kits that you can sell people, that is where you've gotten a gimbal, and you can even get these gimbals branded to you now. If you wanted to spend the extra like $4 per gimbal, they can put your logo on it, like where you can create your own beginner's video kit that people can buy as an upsell in your funnel when they download your guide.
Well, I didn't think about doing that, but you know,
It's a great.
it's definitely a what do you call it? A revenue stream for sure. I mean, it fits into what I'm doing.
Yeah, and again, it all depends on you and like where do you want to end up, right? Don't think of like where's Chris going to be 3 months from now. Say where's Chris Stone going to be 6 months from now, 5 years from now. If you don't want to be known as like the guy that teaches people how to shoot video, don't go down that rabbit hole, right? But if that's the guy you want to be known as, like if you're trying to get started using video, I teach you how to make 6-figure videos. Like that's my jam. That's what I do. That's what I'm known for. If that's what you see yourself as, then absolutely build the shit out of that core offer and value ladder. If that is not what you see yourself as, then do not start with info products that are teaching them how to do it. Give them tips or tricks, but you really want to push them into the service side of things. And you want to figure out a way that you can give them helpful tips while forcing them to consult a professional.
Yeah. Let me throw this in there too. Like, you know, most people see this is when you specialize in something. I mean, you know, almost everything there is to know, you know, with some room to grow about it, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to video, I mean, I have mentors and coaches and everything specifically for like video in a marketing and a sales sense. So I'm kind of privy to some insider things, right? But most people don't think of video the same way that I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so to get them to understand really how I can help them on a much bigger ticket item service, whatever, I have to sort of indoctrinate them, you know? And I think this is like definitely falling into the marketing and the branding, right? To get people to, you know, go from not knowing who you are to ambassadors of your brand, ultimately. You know, so I'm looking at it more of like I'm trying to indoctrinate people. Like, yeah, like, you know, you can use video, but if you use video in this way, and this way, and this way, and this way, you know, this is actually going to, you know, move some needles in your business versus doing whatever else you thought you could with video, right? So
you just want. So it sounds like. So you're more like, you know, a video strategist. You're not just like the video guy that's going to make your video. You're teaching people how to actually utilize video utilizing a strategy versus just, like I like to call it, shooting shit against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Right, exactly. Because if I'm going to sell,
So then what you want is your lead magnet needs to teach them breakthroughs about video strategy. These people
Totally.
that you're targeting in your lead magnet are people that are already shooting content. They're already putting content out there. They already know what apps to use, and they're already familiar with that. What they need to know is, like, why the fuck did I put 40 videos on Instagram and I'm not still not you know,
Right.
so your lead magnet is really setting you up for failure, because your lead magnet is targeting people that are brand new, just getting started, haven't shot a fucking video in their life, and they're looking for somebody to teach them how to use video. That's not the lane you're trying to go in. The lane you're trying to go in is high ticket video strategists. So what your lead magnet has to do is target those people that are already utilizing video, have already proven some concepts and gotten some results to video. That's why they're using video, because they know it works, but they haven't quite cracked the code yet. So your lead magnet needs to be the thing that helps them crack that code. And once they crack the code and say, fuck, Chris knows what he's talking about when it comes to video strategy, then they're going to want your next thing. Or they're going to want to get on a call with you so you can help them crack that code even more. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dude, I saw Angie sitting there like nodding her head. You have any thoughts on that? I mean, you not specifically about me, but you can. I'm totally cool with that. But like, just in general, the concept of like what we're talking about. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, Angie, I saw you raise your hand there for a second.
Yeah. So actually, I raised my hand on one thing, but then it just kind of, when you guys went that way, so I'll throw that in there really fast. There is a guy, and I don't even know what his name is, but there's some app out there, like when Marv was talking about packaging, like those, when you were holding up all the gadgets that I've got also on my desk as well. There is something, and it's actually a video kit, that it's an app, and you put all that stuff in like a kit yourself, and then it's like the Chris Stone version, you know, like your own, but it's from all different sources. So like all different affiliate links are in one package, if you will, that you can incorporate. I can't think of the name of it, but I think it's a kid that actually came out of Julie Stoyan's group video stuff. I can send it to you if you want. But when you're saying this, I am in, it sounds like what you're going at is I'm actually part right now of Marley's Video Impact Challenge. And just the way that, like you're saying, like she doesn't talk to like brand new beginners, doesn't know, like she helps those people, but it's all that more like strategy, like breaking down the step by step. And that's something that I struggle with too, is like, I don't want to help the people that don't know what the hell they're doing. You know, like I'm more into the tech and the automations and making all of that work as the technically smart blonde. So I get that, like not going down that rabbit hole, because then that's those people that you're attracting. So breaking down your process, I was agreeing by shaking my head with what Marv was saying, like, yeah, because there's more you want to help people with. So by coming at it as an angle of, you're not in the very beginning, but this is what you could do with those videos, and this is how strategically to do it. And, you know, even talking about the power of having their description and their metadata correct. Like I just got 2 $500 sales this week simply because somebody clicked on the link in a YouTube video. But had I not had that right, it would have gone through what?
Oh, he's just saying.
Yeah, just nice. Yeah, congrats.
If I didn't have those things and learn that from who I learned it from, I mean, people screw that part up all the time. I wouldn't have thought to put my booking link, to put the link to my group, and to put my link to my lead magnet, which all feed each other, by the way, and got 2 clients because they were looking to find out how to run their online program using a Facebook group, and watched it and did that. So, I mean, just teaching people the power of that part, you know, and a little more advanced than this is how to upload a video. You know, this is how to do InShot. You know,
and that's exactly what I'm saying is like,
yeah,
your lead magnet needs to align with your high ticket core offer. So to answer your original question, which should I be thinking about this from a consumer perspective? Absolutely, right? But you got to think about it from your target consumer's perspective, not like you wrote this lead magnet, so you're thinking about it from the perspective of these people, but these people are the wrong people that you want to talk to in the first place. So you got to dial in, who do I want to target, who do I want to help, who do I want to work with. For you, that's somebody that's already creating content, they're already uploading, they're just not getting results with what they're already doing, right?
Gotcha.
So you got to think of from that person's perspective, what is that person missing in their video strategy? And like she said, it could be 10 quick tips that you can change to your YouTube right now to start making your videos perform better. Or 10 things that you can do in your videos right now to make your videos perform better. Right? So that changes the whole demo, because the demo of your first one is like, I'm just now getting started. I've never shot a video in my life. I'm probably, versus, oh, I'm already shooting videos, but I'm only getting like 12 views per person. I have 300 subscribers, but I'm only getting 12 views per video. What the fuck am I doing wrong?
Right.
You could even sell them into a lower ticket, like 97 or 197 of you just looking and giving 5 tips over a loom and shooting it over to them on their channel.
Yeah.
For 197?
Or
Well,
whatever.
I
I don't know. Something
I charge
Yeah.
I charge $250 for one.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know where you're at in your value ladder or where you are in your business, but I'm just saying, like, something cheap, like
that's a great idea. You have your lead magnet, and then the next step is have me personally go through your video with you for this one-time fee of $97
$250, whatever it is, just to give
Yeah.
Because that positions you as like, now I'm a paid strategist, you're paying for my time.
Right.
And when you say, here's my high ticket offer of XYZ, they're not going to look at you sideways because they just paid $200 for an hour of your time.
Right.
Positioning there. Yeah.
Yeah. Framing.
Right.
I have a question, Mark.
Yeah, go for it. I was going to say, before I move on, any other questions?
Yeah. When you I guess kind of what you mentioned halfway to Chris there, like, I feel like a lot of people, and again, it's just kind of what we watch and then we try to model when we're building our own, right? Like, try to market to the very beginners, but that's like not who I love to work with. I like people that kind of already have their shit together and then need somebody to come in. How do you really, I guess, I don't want to say like, what's a lead magnet for them? Not that, but like, how do you, I guess, would you word it or like what you do? Like, you don't say, hey, you have no clue what you're doing and you just want to do something online. Let me help you validate your idea. And do you know what I mean? Like, help somebody who's a little more advanced, or, so I'm not helping them.
Your messaging, right? So
yeah,
think about like, who is this person? What are they going through right now? What are their pain points? And what solution can I give them to alleviate those pain points? I was making the same mistakes when I first started the Wavemakers program. The Wavemakers was my high ticket at the time, $2,500. And I was like, but all the people I was targeting was brand new startups, people that just had an idea. They hadn't even made $1 online yet, and they're downloading my blueprint. They're loving it. And I'm just like, damn, I can't get people from the blueprint into the fucking Wavemaker program because nobody has $2,500. Right?
Yeah.
And then I started rethinking it. I was like, that's because there's a step in between there. Right? There's a step in between building your brand and joining the Wavemakers. So in that interim step, that's when I inserted group coaching. So I was like, for $99 a month, you can join my exclusive Facebook group where I go live every single week, and we're going to teach you different things. I think Chris was even part of that beta group when I started it, and we'd go live every week, and we'd do coaching. We'd dive into people's funnels, dive into people's Facebook ads, dive into people's automations, and we made a bunch of these personal brands excel. And then naturally, a lot of those brands that were in that group, I sold them into the $2,500 program, right? And then, but it wasn't until I made that mistake myself, but that's what made me realize I had to start thinking about it from their perspective. I was like, if I just downloaded the blueprint and I'm just now going through this blueprint, am I really in the position to pay someone $2,500 to coach me through this? Like, granted, there are some startups that have startup capital, right? There are some people, but they're few and far between, right? You really want to target that demo that is like the average person in that demo is in the position to take the action you want them to take, right? So whatever your lead magnet is, it should align with whatever they're currently going through, whatever their current problems are doing. So like, what's your lead magnet right now, for example?
Mine is 6 steps to set up your own online program.
And then what is your high ticket offer?
My high ticket is me building everything out for them. Me doing their funnel, me integrating their email marketing, me building everything together. And that's at $3,000.
Is that like a 90-day program?
That is honestly, and that's the part that I suck at, that I haven't put like an actual thing. I would say from what experience-wise, how long it takes me, yes, I would say 90 days to put that in there. I don't put a time on it. And then in between there, I have my Sell Your Knowledge Academy, which is my 6-week for $497.
Okay.
Set up fee and then $3,000 a month retainer. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for you, like this is somebody that literally just went through this 6 months ago.
Yeah.
That was my high ticket offer. It was $5,000. I built everything for you. I did all of it. It got to the point I couldn't fulfill. Yeah, and then when I started outsourcing, I wasn't making enough to outsource and make profit on top of that. And then all my fucking time was drained. Right? So you might not be hitting it right now, but you're going to eventually start hitting it to where you physically can't take on any more projects because of this, right?
Yeah.
I would, and if you're really trying, and you have courses and you're teaching people through that, you really want to retain yourself as a high ticket coach, not as done for you service and high ticket coach, right? Like you're one or the other, and that thing you're gonna have to meditate on and say, what do I like doing more? Do I like building it more, or do I like coaching and walking people through it?
Walking people through it.
High ticket coach, and you dial in that 90-day process of like, here's the funnel templates you can use, here's the automations you can use, here's this. Maybe you review their funnels for them, but you're not building it for them. You're making them go through the motions of building it. One, they're going to learn their ecosystem in and out. So once they scale, and because that's the other problem I was running into. I'd build this amazing system. It's earning like crazy. Then into the 90 days, I hand it off. They don't know how to fucking do anything. They're not in a position to pay me because they were a startup and they used all their capital to invest in the system, but now they can't maintain the system and they don't make enough money to pay me to maintain the system for them, right? So I was really doing them a disservice by doing it all for them during that 90-day period, because during that 90-day period, they had me as a backbone. They had me to run and move everything, so they didn't run into, oh, this integration stopped working, or oh, this person tried to unsubscribe, or this person tried to do this, and this. They don't have any experience with it, so it really left them hanging at the end of it. Okay, so
you say take that.
I would turn that into a 90-day coaching program where you're walking through $3,000, like that easy price tag. Like I personally charge $5,000 for that, right? And people pay it. You get, just as long as you establish the value and you're making that difference for them, it's worth it. Right? You're the expert teaching them your process, right? Because it would take them a lot longer than 90 days to implement what you teach them, whether they build it or not. So, and the reason why I say, because if your lead magnet is 6 steps to build your online program, that tells me you're working with beginners and startups, which also tells me if you happen to get any of those beginners or startups by the course, now once they're at your $3,000 price range, that tells me they're in a position where they've made some sales, but it's not consistent enough, and that's why they want you to do it for them, because now they're tapping out. Now they've went through here, they went through the course, they tried to do it themselves, they fell on their face, now they want somebody to do it for them, right? So rather than letting them completely tap out and let you do it for them, now you're their coach, now you're their crush, now you're the person that's going to be in the trenches with them walking them through how to build the funnel, how to set up the automations, how to look at those numbers and say, well, you can see the open rate here, here, and here. You can see you're getting 35% open rate, 14% click through, then it drops to 13% open rate, 2% click through, and then it goes back up to 37% open rate, 14% click through. That tells you that this email in this sequence needs to be updated. You need to try a different subject line and header line. Like that in and of itself is worth, the value of your coaching program, because they're not going to know how to do that. They're not going to know how to read and optimize that data, right? And that's and those are the little things that's going to take them to the next level, right? So you spend 90 days getting them honed into this ecosystem. So at the end of it, whether they can retain you or not, they now have an ecosystem that they know how to use, they know how to scale, and they can delegate tasks out if they need to. Because then when they go to hire people to delegate, now they know their ecosystem. So when this person's not doing their job right, they know when that person's not doing their job right. Otherwise, they get in the system of like going through all these people that they've tried to hire. Then they give up delegation because they can't find the right person, because they don't even know their system's not running. All they know is like the system's not performing like it was when Angie was helping me run it. That's all they know. They don't know like this is why it's not running right, because they had no introduction into that. And that positions you at the end of that 90-day program. Now you can sell them into your long-term 1 year, like, because if you're working with startups, it takes that first 90 days to build the lead automation, to build the lead acquisition. But then it takes the first year after that to really test that system, to find your ups and downs. What's your hot season? What's your slow season? What's your best weeks of the year? Like, you really need to put a year or two into that system to dial it in. So at the end of that 90 days, that's when you can pitch them into, okay, here's my high ticket. Like, you've graduated the 90-day program. This is where you were at in the beginning of the 90 days. This is where you're at now. The next step is kind of like, do you want to retain me as a long-term coach? We'll continue weekly to help you optimize this over the next year. And then you pitch them on that price, right? Like, for me, it's $5K for the 3-month program and $24K for the year. All right, so that's how you naturally elevate yourself to the next level coach. That's how you can scale without limitations. And the done for you service, like I said, I still offer, because I still have clients that come in, they're like, cool, Marv, I want you to coach me through it, but I also want somebody to build it for me as well.
Right.
That's why I've networked with other experts, right? So you just network with other experts, so you can still offer it to your clients, but then you're like, well, I don't do it, but here's an expert that I trust that can do it for you.
Awesome. So yeah, that would just be the tweak. Turn that into a 90-day. Go from my thing to my 90-day.
The other things that you're doing, they align with it. That's the only tweak I would make.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, no, I just didn't think about adding that one other step in there. So I love that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now the next step after you guys have automated lead acquisition, it comes actually building your brand, your social media presence, and implementing an organic strategy that's going to produce the sales enough on autopilot to get you to a paid strategy. So this is why it's important to always think of what's next. Now, if you guys struggle with putting content together or thinking about what can I offer my children to get them through it, I really recommend going through my content map training. You can go to bigmarvscontentmap.com. It's free. It's a 30-minute training. You can download my map. Now, my map is different than the other maps you've probably seen floating around on Facebook. There are no pre-written titles. There's no pre-written posts. There's none of that. I don't do any of that shit for you because, again, it would handicap you, right? If you don't learn how to create and write your own content and find valuable things to give your tribe, you'll never know how to do it. And my pre-built, pre-written shit is not going to perform as well as your organic things written in your voice, your actual stories, because people don't give a fuck about the product or service anymore. They care about the person attached to it, the name that attached to it. Like, if you guys are familiar with Kylie Jenner, she has a $1 billion makeup company because her name is Kylie Jenner. It's not because she has the best makeup in the world, right? It's simply because of her personal branding, and people know, like, and trust her brand. So once you've built that, now you have to start posting consistently, especially if you're relying on organic traffic. You have to post consistently, but if you follow the content map, you're only creating a single piece of content that you're posting in multiple places that have things like hashtags in place, long form copy that's going to organically push you. So let's say an example, you do Instagram, Facebook, a WordPress blog, and an email out to your tribe and YouTube, right? That's 5 sources. You can create 1 video for that. And so WordPress is automatically hooked into the search engines. It automatically crawls the web for you. So if you have a really powerful, well-written article about whatever the fuck you're talking about in your video, those keywords are all going to hit back on search engines when people search it. And the more consistent you are at writing these good articles that all align with each other, now your website is going to get known for those things, right? Because the way your keywords are going to rank. And then if you do hashtag research, you can use a website like gethashtags.com. Every post that you make on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, your blog, like WordPress even has a tag section. Put these tags in there. These are the hot keywords that people are searching for to find this content. That's how they're organically going to find you, by searching via these hashtags. And every post that you make, you just have to follow a very simple strategy. Backstory, pain point, solution, call to action, right? You do it in that structure, those 4 things in every piece of content that you make, and that's what's going to push your content to the next level. Backstory, like, just tell them a little bit about you and whatever you're relating to. So let's say my backstory is, I spend hours every day trying to come up with content, right? And it sucks because sometimes I spend so many hours every day looking for content that I don't even actually drawn a blank, and then the pain point of that is, so then I get behind on my social media. People don't engage with me. And I'm really getting no results, even though I'm spending so much time trying to come up and think of content. And my solution is, so what I did was I built this thing called a content map so I can pre-plan my content and shoot it in the morning and get it out of the way. Now I can shoot 5 videos, schedule them all out in less than an hour, and be done with content for the week. So and then here's my call to action. So if you'd like to check out this map that I put together for myself, go over and click the link below and download it. It's absolutely free, right? And your call to action doesn't always have to be something that gets them to opt into your list. It could be like, if you want to see more tips and tricks like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to see me break down funnels like this, join my private Facebook group. Join my group, follow my page, subscribe to my channel, download my lead magnet. Sometimes you might say, buy my shit. Because the amount of revenue that you earn is directly correlated with the amount of offers that you make. So while I'm telling you guys, value, you need to also make sure you interlace some call to actions to book a call with you. If you're doing high ticket coaching, our call to actions to actually get your courses and things like that. Just make sure your backstory, your pain point, your solution, your call to action all align where that call to action makes sense to them, right? So whatever your course, like Angie, what's your course about? Your $497 course.
Taking the knowledge they have inside and creating their own platform online to sell that through a program.
So what were you going through in your life when you thought of coming up with this course?
What was I thinking about coming up with that? The fact that I had seen other people online having these online programs that weren't so much courses, but they were getting help along the way from somebody who knew what they were trying, who was where they want to be. And I figured out how to do it, and I started doing it for other people.
Okay, so you can say, so your backstory would be, hey, I've seen so many entrepreneurs fail miserably trying to build their own online course. I got so sick of it because they're out here hiring all these gurus and these coaches and all these people that are supposedly helping them create membership courses, and they're never making anything. They're losing their minds, and I'm tired of seeing entrepreneurs give up. So what I did was create this course that takes you step by step on how to not only build and create your membership site, but how to market yourself so you can actually get sales on autopilot to your course. So if you're interested in checking out this course and seeing what I have to offer, click the link below to get my course today. Right? So you saw how I have backstory, pain point, solution, call to action. As long as you follow that structure in every single piece of content that you make, it aligns with the parallel programming theory, which forces your pipelines to feed each other, right? That's the whole idea of having a call to action in your content, right? Because you're taking one action, which is shooting and creating and releasing this video. And then your second action is them buying your course. Then when they buy your course, you should have a nurture sequence that elevates them to the next thing, or that elevates them to your group or your channel or whatever else. So everything that you do, there should always be backstory, pain point, solution, call to action. As long as you have a call to your thank you pages and your funnels everywhere, every single time they interact with you, there should be some sort of call to action. You don't always have to sell them, but you should always be giving them ways to consume you and your content. And so the final step to this is, the third step is really the hardest step of them all, and that's consistency.
Yes.
Right. That is what everybody that I ever work with has a killer fucking week. Maybe they have a killer 2 weeks, but then they fall off the horse and go back to their old habits. Right. That is really the key. Like, that is the number one. If you don't take anything from this training today, take this one. Consistency. Repeat the process over and over again to scale. You rinse and repeat these steps to scale your business. This is the hardest part, but it's the most important one to follow. And if you struggle with this, follow the 80-20 rule. That's where you stay 80% hyper-focused on just your core offer, just getting people to that core offer and cycling through its process. And you spend 20% on whatever the fuck else you want to spend it on. Maybe you binge watch Netflix, or you do something else with your time. Me personally, I spend 80% of my time on my core offer, my Motivated Maniacs program, and putting people into the Wave Makers group. And I spend 20% of time on my What's Next platform, which is the platform that powers all of it. So I just got lucky to where 100% of my time, both things align with each other. If you really want to do that, and you're a motivated maniac like myself, I mean, you can do that. Other people, they take their 80%, it's work only, and this 20% they're fishing or doing whatever else that they do with the 20% of their time. So that's really it, consistency. Now I do want to touch, like, a lot of people ask me, how do you stay consistent? How did you force yourself to follow this process daily? And I'm gonna say it's hard fucking work. Coaches, mentors, like, surrounding myself with people that push me to be the very best me that I can be every single day of the week. You know, in the beginning, I bought different courses and coaches. I hired the wrong people, and needless to say, I didn't succeed from those people, and it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. And I was like, I'm gonna go out on this on my own and do it by myself. And I succeeded. It took me a long time to figure the shit out, but then I got stuck again. And because I was just like, you know what, maybe it was just a coincidence, I hired a coach again, and then my coach is what helped me scale and really get to where I am today. So my biggest piece of advice is surround yourself. Make sure your inner circle, the people closest to you, are all people that are pushing you to be the best version of yourself. Come up with a routine that you can stick to. daily, right? It's important to try to be proactive daily versus reactive, right? So in the morning, a lot of people that I talk to, the first thing they do is they check their phone, or they hop on their laptop, check their emails, they check the notifications, like what happened overnight while I was sleeping. But what happens is, and you do this subconsciously without even realizing, is now you've made your day a reactive day. Right now you're responding to text messages and you're getting the ball rolling on your day without actively planning it out, saying I need to do X, Y, Z. So now your whole day is reactive. Now you're waiting for the next thing to happen instead of proactively taking the next step. So what's really helped me is in the morning, I don't look at my phone, I don't look at my computer, I don't look at any of it. I go meditate, I work out, and then I make a list of like, this is what I'm going to do. Right? This is what I'm going to do today. That way, if somebody texts me and say, hey, bro, can you hop on this afternoon? Maybe I can, maybe I can't, because I've already planned out my day at that point. So now instead of reacting to the situation, because maybe I hopped on an unexpected call and now I didn't get to do these other things because this unexpected call took 2 hours. It was supposed to be a 15-minute call. It was supposed to be quick, but it ended up being a big fucking problem because I didn't plan for that. Now it's thrown off the rest of my day. It gets pushed into the next day. So that was number 2. First was surrounding myself with amazing people that push me. The second was building a morning routine to where I'm proactive every single day versus being in a reactive state. And the third is to take breaks, right? This is the smallest tweak that I've made that has made me the most productive. Friday nights, I turn the laptop off at 10 p.m. and I turn it back on Monday morning because I need those mental breaks. I didn't realize this until I was home with my coach a few weeks ago, and he goes, Marv, when's the last time you took a day off? I was just like, I work every day. He goes, I'm going to challenge you, because we meet every Thursday. So he's like, I'm going to challenge you. Tomorrow after your podcast, shut your laptop down. Don't use it again until Monday. And I was like, what's that going to do? I'm going to waste 2 days. I could build so many funnels in 2 days. He's like, fucking do it. I was like, all right, well, you're my coach. I'm going to listen to you like this. I'm going to pay you all this money if I'm not going to listen to you. And so I did it. I was so juiced on, like, all the shit I wanted to do over the weekend. It was, like, actually thinking out of, like, this is how my next week's going to go, blah, 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 blah. I hit Monday at fucking 3 a.m. ground running. And by 11 a.m., I was already done with everything I needed to do that week. I was like, okay, well, maybe this is why the motherfucker told me to take 2 days off, Because prior to that, I was just, like, working every day, fucking 5-6 hours a day. I hate it. I want to work less than 4 hours a day every day. I hate working more than 4 hours a day. If I have to work more than 4 hours a day on my personal brand, my automation is not doing its fucking job. So I needed to get back into it, and that was the one tweak. The one tweak that my coach gave me was like, you gotta give your brain some time to rest. You gotta be able to think through it. Where do you think they came up with sleep on it? Right? Go sleep on it. See how you feel about it tomorrow. If you're getting angry and you're in a situation, you can walk away and sleep on it. Let your brain process, let your mind process. And like, that's my three biggest tips for you guys. So before I close it out, is there any other questions, comments, concerns that you guys have?
No. I will. I don't know if I want to say this on here, but I just went to the blueprint. Mm-hmm. There might be a little error. It's only 3 pages. It's only 2 pages, and the content map opens to an empty folder.
That's
in the first email. I didn't know if I should say anything because, like, I know I like to save these and record these and use these for other trainings, but it may be something you may want to fix. It's a beautiful cover and second page with your about, and then there's nothing on page 3 or after that for the blueprint. And then when you click on the content map button in the email, it goes to an empty folder that says this folder is empty.
I mean, you are right. This is definitely going on the replay in the automation. So you guys, even I make mistakes. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If y'all don't tell me, I can't go fix it. So thank you for telling me.
You're welcome. I was like, am I not seeing this right?
You know, I'm actively getting like 20 downloads a fucking day on this thing, and nobody has emailed me to say, bro, where's it at? Like, nobody has emailed me to say, where's it at? So yeah, I'll go fix that tonight. Thank you. I just moved over from ClickFunnels and ActiveCampaign to my platform, and we're still finding bugs. So apparently there's one we missed.
And it shows up, and it's in the first email that it comes through in.
Well, I already found the error, so
I'll let you know. Yeah.
I'm gonna go fix it. You'll get an update tonight.
Got it.
All right. Well, if that is it, then,
That was it.
I'm gonna close out this call. Or just if any of you guys would like to hop on a call, if you're watching this as a replay, and you want to see if you're a good fit for the Motivated Maniacs program, then I'd like to take this time to invite you to click the button below this replay and jump on the phone with me. We'll hop on. We'll take a look at what you're doing. We'll dive into your brand, and I'll help you write a roadmap and a strategy that's going to help take your brand to the next level, help you scale. I'll give you a tech recommendation, a tech stack to get you there. Now, before you do book that call, I do want to give you guys a small disclaimer that not everyone is a good fit for me. You know, Big Marv is not for everybody, and it's likely that over half of you guys that do book a call with me won't be selected for the program. But if that even scares you a little bit from attempting, then you're already not a good fit for Big Marv, because we only accept action takers only. So if that's you, click that button below and let's chat and take a look at your brand. More oftentimes than not, when I look through somebody's sequence, we find pockets of profit that they didn't even know existed because it was just small tweaks that they needed to make in their system and their automation. So until next time, guys, I do this every Thursday night. Feel free to tune in. They switch up every Thursday. This is a process that I'm testing through. This is going to become my new core program. So over the next eight Thursdays, you guys can continue to tune in if you want to see the evolution of the What's Next training. Until then, this is Big Marv. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I appreciate your support and love. One love, guys. Have a good night.